When I was about 13, I was going to my third competition, and this was a 2-day competition. It was like the biggest competition I was ever going to, and I was pretty excited for this. I was competing in 2 through 6. I was competing in one-handed, PMix, Megamix, and Scube, all the good stuff. And there was probably something else, but I honestly forgot what it was because competition was really big. So I was in like middle school, except I wasn't actually paying attention. I was kind of on my phone watching cubing videos this day. But then the bell rang and I was eagerly walking home.
Hey, do you remember our deal? Do you got the money?
Yeah, I do. Do you got the stuff?
Give me the money and I'll show you.
I gave the man the money and he gave me an X-Man Wingy Scube, brand new. I barely knew how to solve a Scube, but I was competing at it later today, so I had to learn. I ran home, got everything packed. Today was a very slow day at the competition. Today was basically like the day of events where nobody cared about, so I did Megamix and 6x6. Now, those two events are pretty low-key, right? Nobody really likes 6x6 or Megamix. There isn't really a need to practice 6x6 right before the event, right? Oh, I'm already doing it, okay. I had at this point 2 6x6s that I brought, the Yushin Little Magic and the MGC. Of course, it makes sense to practice with the Yushin instead of your main, right? Oh, actually practicing with the MGC, okay. Nothing can go wrong, right? Shh. Okay, it's fine, I'll just put it back together and, oops. So I guess I'm using the Little Magic 6x6 to compete with. I feel bad for the people who had to scramble my 6x6 for me. They could have been scrambling a nice MGC 6x6, but instead they had to turn this monstrosity. Anyway, later it became turn time for Megamix, and I actually got to experience the GAN Megamix for the first time. It was because I stole it from my friend. He wasn't looking, and we were in different heats. It was fine, I gave it back to him a few years later. Anyway, now it is time for lunch. We got fast food and did all that stuff, and this is probably the most challenging thing that a cuber will ever do. That's judging for 3 blind. First off, no one is ever successful, and that is sad. But the hardest part is trying not to laugh at the absurd items people will use for blindfolds. I saw boxes on people's heads, I saw t-shirts. One guy actually put his head into his shirt, and that was kind of funny. Now, you guys have all met my cubing friend group, or at least met their cartoon equivalent. Well, I was just fixing my 6x6 that had broke that day, and my friends were blowing up my phone for some reason. Like 600 messages from them. And they were all about how I was not sub 10 at 3x3. Now, I was actually the fastest in the group, but they were still complaining about the fact that I had not gotten a sub 10 yet. So I grabbed the nearest 3x3 to me, which was a Chi Sail W. And I went at it practicing for like 2 hours. And after 2 hours, I finally broke sub 10, and I think it was like a 9.39, something like that. It was a pretty big jump from 10 seconds, so I was pretty proud of that. So the next day I had met with my friends again, and we got at the table, started doing our thing. I did my events, got decent times on all of them, then came 3x3. I just got a sub 10 last night. I'm using a new WRM. WCS scrambles seem to be easier than CS scrambles. I think I'm feeling confident. I go up there and perform amazingly. I was getting sub 20s, I got a couple sub 15s, I was feeling good. But then I checked the leaderboards. I was in 65th place. Round 2 was top 64, and I was 1 place off. And in addition, I managed to lose the X-Man Wingy Scube that I got earlier from the creepy guy in the alley. So that's it. I would like there to be some lessons here in all of this, so here goes nothing. Don't use your main to practice right before your event. Use your backup. That's what backups are for. Don't get overconfident because you had a good solve the night before. Comp nerves usually change your performance. Don't lose your cubes. You spend money on those and they are very good and long lasting. Don't lose them. As always, remember to join the Patreon. There are courses available there, and I do exclusive giveaways on my Patreon as well. So if you want cubes or merch delivered to you for free, highly recommend joining the Patreon. Also, maybe check out another video. I know you enjoyed this one.